We open with Cobb Vanth, who is now the marshal of Mos Pelgo, confronting the Pykes. Cobb Vanth is of course the person Mando tracked down back in Season 2 and was shown to be the one wearing Boba Fett's armor. Together, the two slew the Krayt Dragon and became good friends over the encounter. On the speeder, you can actually see a camtono next to the spice, and the camtono was first shown in Empire and has since made several different appearances, even though it's actually an ice cream maker. Cobb Vanth ends up shooting all but one of the Pykes to show his dominance and to show that he means business. We cut back to Mando, who is on his way to visit Grogu, and he first encounters R2-D2, who really needs no explanation. R2 leads Mando to a place where we see a ton of droids constructing what looks to be a building, and this is in fact the construction of Luke's Jedi Temple, the location of which is a secret, and this is most likely the same building that was subsequently destroyed by Kylo Ren, and you can see that the style of the building is actually very similar to the buildings on Ach To as well. We then cut to a meditation session between Luke and Grogu, and we finally get to see the little green guy after all these years. Grogu attempts to eat a one-eyed frog, something which he often did back in Mandalorian Season 1 and 2. Luke then talks to Grogu about Yoda, and you can actually hear Yoda's theme play in the background.
He once said to me,
Luke then tells Grogu that Yoda once told him that size matters not.
size matters not.
Another callback to Yoda's teaching in Empire.
Look at me. Judge me by my size, do you?
Luke then helps Grogu recall his memories, and we get a flashback to the Jedi Temple during Order 66. We then see three different Jedis defend Grogu from the onslaught of the clone troopers. And these Jedi look to be Syndralic and his two Padawans, but if this is indeed the trio, it would retcon their original deaths at the hand of Anakin, so who knows who they actually are. Then, suddenly Ahsoka shows up out of nowhere. She manages to convince Mando that it's better he leave Grogu alone, as a Jedi must forego attachments. After some gut-wrenching decision making, he decides to leave the present with Ahsoka without seeing Grogu. Luke then teaches Grogu how to force jump, and as Grogu struggles, he tells the young one that he is trying too hard.
You're trying too hard.
He then goes on to say, don't try, do.
Don't try. Do.
Again, another callback to Yoda's endless wisdom.
Try not. Do. Or do not. There is no try.
Grogu's training continues, and Luke puts him on his back much like how Yoda was strapped to his back during his training in Empire, except this time the student is now the master. Luke performs a few acrobatic moves that mirror his time in Dagobah, and the two continue Grogu's training with Luke teaching him how to find balance in the Force and physically as well. We get a sick-ass lightsaber training choreo from Luke that Grogu is clearly enamored by. Luke then reveals a training remote and he puts Grogu to the test. The training remote is of course the same training tool that Luke went through back in A New Hope and very common for Jedi training. Grogu finally learns how to jump and his acrobatic flips remind very much of Yoda's athletic ability. We then get the long-awaited interaction between Ahsoka and Luke, and the two discuss Grogu's training. And it is here that Luke states that Grogu isn't really learning anything new, but rather remembering. And this is most likely due to his trauma, which has repressed his memories and his abilities. Ahsoka hands Mando's gift over to Luke, and Ahsoka remarks that Luke is so much like his father.
So much like your father.
Which of course she would know since she probably knew Anakin better than Luke ever did, being his Padawan during the Clone Wars. Mando heads back to Boba's palace and he joins the War Council. We learn that while Boba has enough enforcers, they still need foot soldiers when the war breaks. Mando states that he can help and he travels to Mos Pelgo. As he flies across the desert, we see a Jawa trailer with a massive skull mounted on top of it, and this is the skull of the Krayt Dragon, most likely the same one that Mando killed back in Season 2. Cobb Vanth and Mando reunite, and Mando attempts to recruit him and the people of Mos Pelgo to fight against the Pykes, but Cobb Vanth is hesitant and states that he will need to think about it. But as Mando leaves from the desert, a stranger arrives, and this is probably one of the best entrances a villain has ever made in Star Wars, and the whole scene just reminded me of an old western film. The stranger is then revealed to be the one and only Cad Bane. Cad Bane is of course the notorious bounty hunter that became the galaxy's deadliest bounty hunter following the death of Jango Fett. And Boba has had a previous run-in with the bounty hunter during the Clone Wars that gave Boba's helmet the signature dent and a patch over Cad Bane's head. Cad Bane is an insanely dangerous fighter able to go toe-to-toe with Jedi with the likes of Mace Windu, Obi-Wan, and Anakin, and to prove his lethality he promptly takes out Cobb Vanth and his deputy. While it's clear that Cobb Vanth isn't dead, it's pretty clear that he is seriously wounded, and it remains to be seen what the people of Freetown will do about it. The Pykes make a trip to Madame Garsa's sanctuary and promptly blow it up, marking the beginning of the war between the Pykes and Boba Fett. It remains to be seen who died in this explosion, but if everyone was wiped out, you don't have to worry about Max Rebo cause we didn't actually see him. We cut back to Grogu and Luke places in front of him two options. We finally get to see the Beskar chainmail made for Grogu, and on the other side, Yoda's lightsaber makes a surprise return. Nonetheless, Luke makes it pretty clear that Grogu has to choose one, to be a Jedi or to be a Mandalorian. And we will most likely get to know his decision in the next episode. Wow, this chapter had so many cameos, it was pretty insane, and it was very much a love letter to Yoda and the training Yoda gave to Luke in Empire, so that was an added bonus. Anyways, that's all for the breakdown for chapter 6 of the Book of Boba Fett. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next one. I am the Lost Acolyte,
and I have spoken.